Your shift starts at 6 a.m. Coffee's hot, radio's quiet. You've got 8 hours on patrol in Rockford Hills, arguably the cushiest beat in all of Los Santos. Gated mansions, low crime, the occasional noise complaint from some retired movie producer. You've done this 100 times. Nothing ever happens in Rockford Hills. Then dispatch crackles. All units, we have a report of a residential disturbance on Portola Drive. Possible home invasion. Proceed with caution. You don't know it yet, but today is the day. 3 of the most catastrophically dangerous men in the state of San Andreas all decide to be extremely themselves at the same time, across the same city, with zero regard for your pension, your patrol car, or your continued existence. Welcome to Protagonist Day. 6:12 a.m. the Rockford Hills call you. Roll up to the address on Portola Drive. Big house. Tennis court visible from the street. The kind of place where the residents call 911 because a gardener looked at them wrong, except the front gate is hanging off its hinges, and there's a man standing in the swimming pool, fully clothed, screaming at the house. You don't recognize him yet. Mid-50s, stocky, wearing a tracksuit that costs more than your monthly salary. He's got the energy of someone who has genuinely lost his mind but somehow still has perfect situational awareness. He clocks you the second you step out of the cruiser, and for a split second he looks like he's calculating 17 different ways this interaction could go. That's Michael DeSanta, former bank robber, current retired criminal in witness protection. And today, whatever argument he just had inside that house has driven him outside, into the pool, in his clothes, at 6 in the morning. You tell him to calm down. He tells you, with the exhausted patience of a man who has had this exact conversation with law enforcement many times before, that everything is fine. His voice is smooth, practiced, the voice of a man who has talked his way out of worse. You write up a disturbance report, you leave. You will see Michael DeSanta again before this shift is over. It will not be like this. 7:41 a.m. The 405 North Situation Dispatch again. Traffic incident on the Sonora freeway, somewhere near the desert border. A vehicle reported as a rust bucket pickup has allegedly been driving the wrong way at high speed, sideswiping vehicles, and the driver appears to be laughing. By the time Highway Patrol clips in and gives a description, you already know this isn't a DUI. Trevor Phillips is 6 foot something of barely contained violence and methamphetamine adjacent energy, and he has just driven down from Sandy Shores because nobody is quite sure who yet disrespected him at a gas station. He is not heading anywhere specific. Trevor never is. He's in motion because standing still makes him feel things he doesn't want to feel. And motion, specifically motion at high speed through other people's vehicles, is his emotional regulation strategy. You're not on this call. You don't have to be. But you hear it over the radio and something tightens in your chest. 3 units pursue. 2 lose him near the Alamo Sea when he cuts across unpaved desert at 70 miles per hour without blinking. The 3rd unit breaks off because, and this is in the actual dispatch log, the officer reports that Trevor made eye contact with him through the windshield and, quote, smiled in a way that indicated extreme danger. That officer made the right call. Trevor parks the truck somewhere near his airfield, walks inside his trailer, and is apparently fine. For now. 9:23 a.m. South LS. Franklin's Block. This one comes in as a repo job gone wrong. A young man, early 20s, sharp, calm under pressure, was sent by a luxury car dealership to repossess a vehicle from a property in Forum Drive. Standard civil matter. Not even a police issue on paper, except the vehicle's owner has relatives, and those relatives have called in about 15 of their closest friends. And now there are 2 groups of men in the street, one of which includes the repo guy Franklin Clinton, who, to his credit, has not actually done anything illegal yet. Franklin is the most professionally composed of the 3 protagonists, which is like saying one storm has slightly less lightning. He's technically just doing his job. He doesn't want a conflict, but he's also not going to back down, because Franklin never backs down, and the math of the situation is escalating fast. By the time your unit gets close, it's over. Franklin is gone. The car is gone. The crowd dispersed. Nobody will give a statement. You file it, you move on. You don't know that this young man will one day be standing inside a facility that belongs to the FIB, the IAA, and Merriweather Security simultaneously. And he will walk out alive. But that's later. 11:04 a.m. The jewelry store. You're parked on Eclipse Boulevard eating a sandwich when the call drops like a grenade into the radio. All units armed robbery in progress. Vangelico Fine Jewelers, Rockford Hills, multiple suspects, gas dispersal reported, bikes incoming. You are 3 blocks away. You flip the lights and you go. And by the time you hit the street, the smoke is already billowing out of the storefront, and 2 motorcycles are screaming eastbound through traffic like they're on rails. Passenger on each bike, synchronized, disciplined. This is not amateur hour. This is Michael's crew running the jewel store job, and it is begrudgingly, professionally impressive. The gas knocked out the witnesses. The bikes were pre-staged. The timing was surgical. You pursue. Most of your unit pursues. For approximately 40 seconds, you're actually close. Then the bikes split. Your partner takes the left. You take the right, and you follow your target through traffic, sirens wailing, until it cuts into an alley, then a parking structure, then nothing. Gone. Clean. You get back on the radio. Partial plates. Partial description. No arrests. Somewhere in Los Santos, a man in a tracksuit is sitting in a getaway car counting cash and feeling, for the first time in years, like himself again. You eat the rest of your sandwich cold. 1:47 p.m. Trevor arrives in Los Santos. You're not told this officially. Nobody is. There's no press release. No bolo, no heads up. Trevor Phillips simply appears in the city the way a natural disaster appears, and the first indication you have is 3 simultaneous calls within a 6-minute window. A bar fight in Vespucci, a stolen dinghy near the pier, and a man described as enormous, unhinged, and shirtless being chased by 4 members of the Varios Los Aztecas who apparently started something they are already deeply regretting. Trevor has arrived in Los Santos because the jewel store job made the news, and Trevor recognized the fingerprints. He knows Michael's work. He thought Michael was dead. And now a very specific kind of rage, the kind that comes from grief and betrayal fused together over 9 years, is loose in your city. You don't have this context, you just have the calls. You handle the bar fight, it's not him. But the energy in the air on your radio has shifted, and every veteran cop you know has gone slightly quiet in a way that means they feel it too. Something is wrong with today. 3:19 p.m. The FIB shows up 2 black SUVs roll past your unit on Vinewood Boulevard without acknowledging you exist. Federal plates, tinted windows, the energy of people who do not answer to your department, your captain, or arguably your government. You've seen FIB before. You've worked joint operations. But these guys aren't coordinating with anyone. They're hunting something. What you don't know, what you couldn't know, is that agents Steve Haynes and Dave Norton are running an unsanctioned operation using civilian assets. They've got Michael DeSanta in a box, leverage over a man with a violent past and a family he actually cares about, and they're squeezing him toward a series of increasingly illegal off-book jobs that the FIB will deny the moment they go sideways. The agency you're supposed to trust is running criminals as contractors inside your city. You watch the SUVs disappear down the boulevard. You don't ask questions. You've learned not to. 5:02 p.m. The airport shots fired near Los Santos International, not near at. On the tarmac. You get there late. It's already a war zone with tire tracks. There are shell casings across 2 terminals, a crashed vehicle blocking Gate 7, and a cargo plane, an actual cargo plane that has somehow been partially disabled on the runway. Merryweather contractors are on scene before LSPD. That alone tells you everything. When private military beats local law enforcement to an active shooting, somebody above your pay grade ordered it. The 3 men you've been separately encountering all day, Michael, Trevor, Franklin, they were here, together, running a job against Merryweather that apparently involved a submarine, a weapons cache, and a level of tactical coordination that would make special forces uncomfortable. They got away with nothing, apparently. The cargo was dumped. The job was burned, but they walked away. All 3 of them. From Merryweather, you write your incident report. Your hands are steady. You are a professional. 6:51 p.m. end of shift briefing. Your captain plus half the department is in the room. The whiteboard behind him has more red lines on it than a high school art project. He goes through the day, the jewelry heist, the freeway incident, the airport situation, the FIB interference, the gang activity down south, the pieces that don't connect yet. Nobody has names yet. You're all looking at fragments, but you were there for all of it. And sitting in that briefing room with the red lines and the unanswered questions and the coffee that's been burnt since 1400, it clicks. This wasn't random. The whole day was connected. Different crews, different jobs, different corners of the city, but threaded together by something you can't quite see. A web that runs underneath Los Santos, underneath the law, underneath everything your badge is supposed to represent. 3 men moving through your city like they own it. Because in every way that actually matters in Los Santos, they do. 7:23 p.m. clocking out. You get to your car, the parking structure is quiet. The radio is finally calm. You sit there for a second. Somewhere in Rockford Hills, a man in a tracksuit is arguing with his therapist. Somewhere near Sandy Shores, a man with a neck tattoo is staring at the desert sky and thinking about blood and loyalty and betrayal. And somewhere in South LS, a young man is sitting on a car hood, looking at the city skyline, calculating his next move with the cold precision of someone who knows exactly where he's going. Your shift is over. Theirs is just getting started. And if you thought today was rough from behind a badge, imagine living through all of that with nothing. No gun and no wanted level to even make you feel important. Just you, your sedan, your 9 to 5, and a city that is actively, cosmically, structurally trying to kill you. Just a civilian in Los Santos. That's the next video.